Do you ever wonder how we managed before the internet? No phones in our pockets, no Google, no social media. And yet life felt fuller, warmer, even simpler. Back in the 1950s to 1970s, life moved at a slower, more human pace. When we needed to find something out, we didn't look it up. We asked someone. Knowledge came from books, libraries, newspapers, or our elders. Conversations happened face to face, on front porches, over fences, or around the kitchen table, not behind a screen. We wrote letters, real handwritten letters, and waited days, sometimes weeks, for a reply. That waiting, that patience gave value to every word. There was something powerful in the anticipation of a response. Children played outside, rain or shine, using imagination, not apps. We listened to music on vinyl, carefully flipping records and savoring each track, not skipping through playlists. Families ate dinner together, talked together, laughed together, uninterrupted. There was no constant scroll, just the moment you were in. And it was enough, more than enough. Without the internet, we were more present. We connected not through wires but through shared time and memories. Maybe it's not about going back, but remembering what truly mattered all along. Remember when dinner time meant more than just food? It was a daily ritual, a moment of unity, warmth, and conversation. In the 1960s, the family dinner was a sacred moment. It wasn't about what was on the plate, though that mattered. It was about who was at the table. Every evening, no matter what the day brought, we gathered. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, green beans, maybe a casserole, but the main course was always connection. No one stared at a screen. The only glow came from a soft kitchen light or the flicker of the evening news in the other room. Children shared what they learned in school. Parents talked about work or just listened. We learned manners, respect, and how to be part of something bigger than ourselves. It was where birthdays were celebrated and hard days softened. A simple meal could feel like a holiday when shared with love. What we remember isn't just the food, it's the feeling, the laughter, the eye contact, the presence. And maybe it's time to bring that back. Before streaming, before earbuds, music was a ritual, and every song held a piece of who we were. From the 1950s through the 70s, music wasn't just background noise. It was emotion, identity, memory. When Elvis first shook the world, we felt alive. When the Supremes sang, we dreamed. When the Beatles arrived, everything changed. You remember holding that record, gently placing the needle down, hearing the soft crackle. And then, the music. Pure, real, unfiltered. You didn't skip songs. You listened. Fully. Because every track told a story and every lyric meant something. Music played at school dances, on long car rides, through heartbreak and first kisses. It shaped our teenage years, our friendships, our sense of self. And when we hear those songs now, they don't just remind us of the past, they take us there. Music then wasn't about algorithms. It was about feeling. And some songs, they stay with you, not just in memory but in the rhythm of your heart. There was a time when television didn't divide, it united. It brought us around one screen, one moment, one shared story. In the golden age of TV, every night felt like an event. Families gathered in living rooms, not to scroll or multitask but to watch. Just watch. The Ed Sullivan Show, I Love Lucy, Bonanza. They weren't just programs. They were part of our week. Televisions were bulky and black and white, but the moments they gave us were colorful. We laughed with Lucy, cried during Lassie, and watched the moon landing in awe, together. There was a kind of magic in the anticipation. What's on tonight? Back then, shows came once a week. No binge watching. That meant we waited. We valued. We remembered. Those old shows taught us more than plot lines. They taught us patience, presence, and the power of sharing a simple screen with the people we love. In our day, getting dressed wasn't about trends. It was about pride, grace, and showing up for life every single day. In the 50s through 70s, style meant more than clothes. It meant self-respect. Men pressed their shirts. Women chose their accessories with care. Even a trip to the grocery store deserved neat slacks or a Sunday dress. Young girls watched their mothers apply lipstick. Boys saw their fathers shine their shoes. We learned that how you present yourself tells others how much you care about them and yourself. Clothing wasn't fast. It was chosen. Often handmade, sometimes passed down. Each item had meaning. That sweater grandma knitted? It wasn't just warm. It was love stitched into every thread. Today's fashion moves fast, but real style lingers. Style is more than what we wear. It's how we carry our memories, with dignity, with grace, and a little touch of the past. Before gadgets and touchscreens, we had dirt under our nails, grass stains on our jeans, and stories in our heads. Childhood in the 50s, 60s, and 70s was lived outdoors. We made forts from boxes, turned sticks into swords, and let our imaginations fill in what no app could. Playtime wasn't scheduled, it just happened. We rode bikes until the streetlights came on. We drank from hoses, climbed trees, and dared to dream big in backyards and empty lots. Every scrape on the knee had a story. Every summer felt endless. We didn't need a battery, just sunshine and time. Friendships were built face to face. Games didn't require Wi-Fi, just rules we made up and changed as we went. And if it rained, we played board games, built puzzles, or listened to radio dramas by candlelight. That kind of childhood built resilience, creativity, and joy. And even now we carry it with us, in the way we remember and the way we love. There was a time when your neighbors weren't strangers. They were friends, helpers, second parents. And the front porch was your living room. In mid-century America, front porches weren't just for decoration. They were gathering places. Places where stories were told, lemonade was sipped, and the world slowed down. You waved to the mailman, chatted with Mrs. Miller 2 doors down, and knew the kids by name. People checked in, brought over pie, shared garden tomatoes. When someone got sick, food showed up on their doorstep. No one had to ask. We didn't need community apps. We were the community. Children ran across yards freely. Adults sat in rockers or on swing benches, talking long after the sun went down. It wasn't always perfect, but it was real. It was connection. Maybe the world feels busier now, but the longing for neighborly warmth never left. The front porch still waits, and sometimes all it takes is a wave. Not every journey needs a destination. Sometimes the ride itself is the reward. Sunday drives were a tradition. After church or a big lunch, we'd pile into the family car. No GPS, no rush. Just open roads, fresh air, and time together. Dad at the wheel, mom in the passenger seat, kids squabbling in the back, but happy. We'd drive past farms, old barns, roadside diners. Sometimes we'd stop for ice cream. Sometimes we just kept going. Radio playing softly, maybe Sinatra, maybe Elvis, while the world rolled by like a painting. Those drives weren't about going somewhere. They were about being together, away from chores and worries. They were small escapes that made big memories. In a world always in a hurry, maybe what we miss most is the slow ride. The detour. The chance to simply be together in motion. Today everything is instant. But back then waiting wasn't a burden, it was part of the joy. We waited for everything. Letters, phone calls, film to be developed. Holidays took forever to arrive, and that made them magical. We saved up for things, planned ahead, counted days. Made small things feel big. Anticipation became part of the reward. The Sears catalog wasn't just a list, it was a dream book. Christmas morning meant something because you'd waited all year, not just clicked by now. Waiting taught us patience, hope, and gratitude. And when the thing finally came, we cherished it. In slowing down, we gained depth, memory, meaning, and maybe, just maybe, it's okay to wait again. Before filters and selfies, photos were precious. Every click was a story. Every frame, a memory carefully captured. In the mid-20th century, cameras weren't everywhere. They were brought out for birthdays, graduations, road trips. Each roll of film was limited, 12, maybe 24 shots. So you made each one count. We posed in front of cars, houses, trees. Kids in overalls, moms in aprons, dads in Sunday best. And when the photos came back from the drugstore, we gathered around to see them. Sometimes they were blurry. Sometimes someone blinked. But that didn't matter. It was real. These weren't content. They were moments frozen in time. And decades later, we still pull out those faded albums and feel it all again. A photo from the past doesn't just show what we looked like. It shows how we lived, how we loved, and what truly mattered. As the years go by, it's easy to forget the details. The jingles, the front porch talks, the creak of a rocking chair, the smell of fresh-cut grass. But deep down, those memories never really leave us. We lived through something special. A time when things were slower. Not because we had no choice, but because we valued depth over speed. Conversations meant something. Music moved us. Clothes had character. Communities held each other up. And while the world keeps changing, the soul remembers. That's why we rewind, not to escape today, but to honor yesterday. To pass on what was good, simple, kind. So, whether you were dancing in your saddle shoes, flipping a record, or sharing a soda at the drive-in, your story matters. Your memories matter. And we're here to relive them with you, one golden day at a time. Because the past isn't gone, it's right here in every heart that remembers.